today on 15 on 15.
We finally get our answers when it comes to cruise ship tourism on the island. Is Aruba looking for quantity or quality? Plus, Baby Luna is back on the island safe and sound. And the Fred Expo is back again for a 5th edition. Thank you for joining us on another edition of 15 on 15 right here on Channel 15 TV with Daniela Piazzi. Let's get started with our latest local news topics. This month, Pullmantur Cruise Lines announced that they will be deviating all of their Caribbean region ships due to Venezuela's financial crisis. This will be bringing Aruba's calculated cruise growth of 10% down to a growth of 6%. However, Aruba's tourism entities believe the tourism market will stay strong. Find out why. In 2013, Aruba's cruise ports welcomed over 270,000 passengers from around the globe. That year set a high standard for future projections. However, ever since, the rates have been slowly decreasing, and 2015 rounded off with 237,000 visitors. 2016, however, is expected to be a good year for cruise ship tourism, although a slight setback was announced towards the end of 2015, where Pullmantur Cruise Line announced a reduction of ships. According to the local tourism entities on the island, they expect to remain strong throughout the year. However, local vendors in the downtown area have stated to our ATV team that their sales have dropped substantially within the past year due to a less affluent customer. So does this mean quantity over quality for Aruba? Aruba's Minister of Tourism and Transportation, Otmar Oduber, seems to disagree.
We have a survey that was done by the entity of FCCA, where Aruba, for the second year consecutively, and this was over 2014 if I'm not mistaken, we got the report in 2015, where Aruba is one of the highest spenders of tourism visiting through cruise ships. So the direct link, if indeed cruise ships are not contributing with the island, maybe depends on who you talk to. For example, if you see the tour operators and you talk to the merchants close to the harbor, they are extremely happy with the business that they're getting nowadays. 5 years ago, we used to have a low season during May to October, and nowadays we don't have a low season anymore. We receive almost over 60 to 70 calls during what we used to call the low or slow season.
Moving forward, this year the 27th annual Kata event is taking place on the island. This is a conference organized by the Aruba Tourism Authority and the Aruba Hotel and Tourism Association. It is an interactive opportunity for Latin American tour operators, international airlines, and local hoteliers dedicated to the promotion of the island as a vacation destination to meet and discuss business. For 27 years, Aruba has received hundreds of partners on the island to celebrate the annual tourism conference of Aruba named Kata. During this conference, the Aruba Tourism Authority updates their various tourism partners on Aruba as a product. The conference also gives the opportunity to associates to interact with the world of tourism and businesses on the island. During the conference, there are inspections of local hotels, opportunities to exchange ideas, and negotiate with all the service providers on the island. The keynote speaker this year is Carlos Rosales, a recognized speaker and author of the best-selling book named People by People. Another important event during Kata is the Tourism Showcase. This is the perfect opportunity to present ways of working, present products, and negotiate with partners in the industry. The Kata opening night was held at the newly renovated DV All-Inclusive Resort, which is serving as the official accommodation for the international delegates from Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, Paraguay, Bolivia, Panama, Venezuela, Mexico, and Suriname. Also, international airlines and hotel representatives were present at this event. The CEO of Aruba's Tourism Authority, Ronella Chin-Ashu, welcomed the international guests by sharing Aruba's tourism plan and encouraging all entities to network for future projects on the island. Moving forward, on Monday morning, Aruba inaugurated yet another completely renovated middle school on the island. The students of the San Antonio School in Santa Cruz had been relocated for over a year now in preparation for this day. Now these youngsters walk into a brand new school big enough for them all. In 2011, Colegio San Antonio had 250 students enrolled, but today the school welcomes over 420 students a day. Besides this growth in class size, the actual classrooms began to be too small. Therefore, in 2013, the entire student body moved to the community center in Dakota, while renovations were underway in Santa Cruz. On their first day back, there were only smiles for students, parents, and teachers alike. The entire process involving financing, designing, construction, and relocating was gruesome, but it finally paid off. Not only the schools has been renovated, but there have been additional buildings added to the property. These include a state-of-the-art gymnasium, a new roof, and pavement. We'll be back with more 15 on 15 after a word from one of our sponsors, so stay with us. When we come back from the break, we have the latest on the baby who captured Aruba's hearts. Thank you for staying with us right here on Channel 15 ATV. Today we have a great news from the baby which caused ripples within our community, Luna. After being in Colombia for 2 months to treat trisomy 18, she is back on the island looking stronger than ever. Only 2 months after traveling to Colombia in search of medical assistance, the infant that captured the heart of Arubans around the world is back on the island. On social media posts by her family, they confirm Luna has had her first peaceful night back home. Since the beginning of 2016, Luna has brought outrage within the community. Now 4 months old, the infant at first was denied medical help by AZV due to her terminal condition and has touched the hearts of many. 2 weeks after her birth, she was diagnosed with trisomy 18, also known as Edwards syndrome. This is a chromosomal abnormality caused by the presence of the 18th chromosome. The survival rate of newborns with this abnormality is very low, but she is proving to beat the odds by thriving at 4 months old. Luna will now continue her treatment on the island and wishes to thank the Aruban community for all their help and support both on the island and abroad. On another note, earlier this month, Carnival Cruise Lines announced that they will be making their first trip to Cuba in the month of May. This is great news for the cruise fanatics in search of a new destination. However, for Cuban Americans, Carnival Cruise Lines has banned them from setting sail. Cruising to Cuba from the United States is now a reality. Carnival Corporation announced Monday that it will offer cruises to Cuba starting on May 1st, after Cuba granted approval for the company to begin traveling there. It's the first time in more than 50 years that cruise ship has permission to sail from the United States to Cuba. However, the Carnival Cruise Line has enraged Cuban Americans by banning them from taking its cruises to the island. But the cruise company says it's just following the law, and it turns out the decision was made hand in hand with the Cuban government. Long-standing Cuban laws ban Cuban Americans from traveling to Cuba in any kind of sea vessel, and so far, the U.S. government is going along with it, despite its new diplomatic ties with the island nation. Well, the Cuban community is not okay with this. In Florida and in Cuba, they have staged protests to call attention to the discriminative acts. Also, a Cuban-American couple which has been denied a ticket have filed a lawsuit against the cruise line. And before we go to break, the local artist Jeon, known for his most recent hit Dushi Vida, released a teaser today for his upcoming single named Agradecido. Check it out. The local artist Jeon recently released his music video titled Dushi Vida. Within the course of a couple of months, the video has already reached over 500,000 views. The relaxing toned song and soothing Aruban sceneries to match tell the story of our Dushi Vida, or literally translated to sweet life, as a reference to the listeners to slow down and appreciate the little things life has to offer. Now, Jeon releases a teaser for his single titled Agradecido, which seems to follow in the same direction. We'll be sure to keep you updated once April 18th comes around. We'll be back with more 15 on 15 after a quick commercial break. After the break, we find out more about Fred Expo. Thank you for staying with us right here on Channel 15 ATV with Daniela Piazzi. For Dutch Caribbean natives living in the Netherlands, sometimes it can be tough to make that decision to move back to your home island. For reasons related to jobs, families, or security, many from Bonaire, Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin are discouraged to move back. Therefore, local entrepreneur Tristan Avery founded Flinks Recruitment, or FRED, a 3-day expo which connects job seekers to companies within the Dutch Caribbean. This year, the FRED Expo in the Netherlands will be back for its 5th consecutive year. This is a job fair where companies within the Dutch Caribbean travel to seek out new candidates for their company. Throughout this 4-day event, professionals will receive the opportunity to interact with employers from different parts of the Caribbean.
One of the biggest advantage a company has is they get in personal contact with different students, those seeking interns, those who just graduated and looking to come back, and even the professionals who after a couple of years working in Holland, they gain experience, which has added value to these companies. Because of the distance between Holland and the Dutch Caribbean, companies don't have the access to personally invite candidates over, etc. Even though we have great technology by using Skype or conference call, which make the distance quite smaller, the personal touch is always something very important, and we try to create this every year through FRED.
Each year, hundreds of youngsters choose to continue their studies at Dutch institutes. But to ensure that these students do not lose their bond to their home islands, FRED offers the perfect opportunity to keep informed of future careers within the Dutch Caribbean.
So you have, after a couple of years of working in Holland and establishing a job, maybe you have a family in Holland, or your job is so great you don't want to move. Companies, when they approach these candidates, they kind of like get the feeling of, hey, maybe I should go back and contribute to my island. And this is really what FRED is about. Making sure we get our professionals back to the islands, help out and contribute.
Throughout this 4-day event, companies and candidates receive plenty of opportunities to interact.
The first day we start off with a company dinner. Companies got a chance to sit in an informal setting during 3 courses with different candidates. So they get to know the candidates in a more personal way, in a more relaxed atmosphere. We continue with the 28th. This is the big day. It's the day of the job fair. So we started from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. During the day, many candidates visit the expo. They get to visit different booths of the companies. There's different workshops throughout the day and even presentations given by companies. And we culminate FRED on the 29th by company interviews. So companies, before they come to Holland, they got a chance to go dig through our database, and they select candidates to sit with in one-on-one interviews on a Sunday.
For companies and job seekers interested in participating, it is not too late. For more information, you can visit their page at fredexpo.com. They are also available on all social media sites. Thank you so much for watching these very local news updates and trending Aruba topics. Be sure to like our 15 on 15 Facebook and Instagram page for all of your latest news updates. Also, don't forget to tune back in Monday night at 7:15 p.m. for more 15 on 15 right here on Channel 15 ATV. See you then.